Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea, where we discuss the latest celebrity tea in the news. I'm your host, Auntie Derek, and with me, I have two fabulous co hosts with me, Chill and my favorite Taurus. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Good morning.
And today is Tuesday, June 24th. And, today is actually Moon's birthday. So happy birthday, my gorgeous child of Moon. I hope you have a fabulous one, and I wish you many, many, many more. Even though I already told her already, online, but still, you can never have too many birthday wishes. So shout out to that gorgeous girl. And for today's Pride Post segment, we have some Happy Birthday Moon in the chat. For today's Pride Post segment, and thank you, Beezus, for coming up with the term Pride Post. We're going to talk about and who I think is an iconic actor, and he's been around for a while, and you all may have seen him. And he's a legend in ballroom as well, believe it or not. So his name is Marquise Vilson. Oh, and let me just share my screen. So I have here from the National Museum of African American History and Culture, by way of the Smithsonian, Marquise Vilson, who says he was born in 1981. And he also is known by Marquise Vilson Balenciaga. And it says here he's an activist, actor, and member of the House of Balenciaga. Born in 1981, Marquise Vilson grew up in the Bronx, New York City. He was raised in poverty during the HIV/AIDS pandemic and the crack epidemic, and the era was significant in shaping his life. As a young black queer kid, Vilson realized he could not afford to not be who he was and needed to live out loud. At the age of 16, Vilson began dressing in clothing deemed masculine. He had entered the ballroom scene the year prior after meeting a youth program mentor from the House of Chanel named Michael. Michael mentioned to Vilson he was doing a documentary film project on the ballroom scene and invited Vilson to a ball. Immediately, Vilson felt connected to and supported by the community. Vilson began attending and participating in GMHC, formerly the Gay Men's Health Crisis, latex balls in 1995 and 1996. He joined the House of Balenciaga and was quickly applauded for his walks and performances. Aligned with his personal goal to live fully and be seen, Vilson agreed to be part of a documentary to have his personal experiences as a young black man of trans experience documented from 1997 to 2001. The footage was used in The Aggressives in 2005, a documentary following masculine queer people of color. And just a side note, I'm actually just seeing that for the first time. I want to say maybe last year. I think it was. I just had the TV on Showtime playing stuff, and it came on. And I was like, "Well, what is this? How did I miss this?" But it was really good. And so anyway, to continue, at the same time, Vilson became involved in activism. First, by becoming a visible person of trans experience, and then helping others find resources that they may need. In the ballroom community, Vilson became a respected leader and mentor. He received the Eric Christian Bazaar Award in 2011 for his work as a sexual health coordinator and the Octavia St. Laurent Trans Activist Award in 2018, and was deemed a trans man icon in 2018 and inducted into the Dorian Hall of Fame in 2020. Look at him, his fine ass. He is so cute, honey. Look at him. Yes. Not a stranger to performing and interested in music, art, and dance since a young age, Vilson had not considered acting as a career until his adulthood, when he landed a role in the off Broadway play Charm in 2017. This opportunity led to a role in Ben is Black alongside Julia Roberts the following year. In 2018, Vilson also landed his first television role as Sergeant Jim Preston in Law and Order SVU episodes Service. Sergeant Preston is a witness to a case who is reluctant to testify, as it would bring light that he is a transgender man and could risk his military career. Marquise related to the role, not just because both men are trans, but Vilson also had a short military career in 2001. That was actually a good episode, by the way. Vilson has continued to land television roles, most notably as a series regular named Isaac Vega in Tom Swift, a CW spinoff of Nancy Drew. So shout out to that trans icon, and I'm not using that term loosely. This is an icon here and has an award to back it up. So shout out to this fine ass. Ooh, look at this fine ass, honey. Yes. Okay, I see the chat with Aga, Aga. Okay, okay. So, what? Before we get started with the tea, does anybody want to add anything about him, or but have you all seen him in any movies or any of your shows, and maybe just didn't know he was of trans experience? Because he was in a lot of stuff. All right. So again, shout out to that icon. So let's go ahead and get started with the tea, honey.
Tea time.
Yes. Let me pull up. You know we're gonna start with some Diddy, honey. Let's say now. I keep seeing that the prosecution is looking to wrap that case up by the end of the day today. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but let's see. So let me share my screen with this CNN. Oop. All right, and let's go ahead and skip down to the first post where I guess where they catch us up what we missed yesterday. So lower coast, yeah, we don't need that. Prosecutors expected. Oh, see, that's what I saw. Prosecutors are expected to rest their case today. Judges on the bench. Oh, do they have a recap of yesterday? Doesn't look like it. Oh well. Okay, so judges on the bench. Let's go ahead. Defense resumes cross-examination of special agent. Remember Joseph Cerciello, who we talked about yesterday, is still on the stand. Defense attorney reviews text messages between Jane and Sly from December of 2021. So, defense attorney Tina Garagos reviewed text messages between Jane and the entertainer Sly from December of 2021. Jane wrote to Sly that she was thinking about one of their recent hotel nights. Jane wrote, "Send me something." She then asked him if he could fly to meet her that night or the next day. When Sly said he was busy with Christmas preparations with his family, she suggested he just make it a day trip. Jane previously testified that she only initiated explicit messages with Sly when she was with Combs, who told her to. Jane, and remember, Jane is one of Combs' accusers who used a pseudonym in court. She was on the stand for several days earlier this month and described the abuse she said she endured during the relationship with him. Okay, next update. Combs texted Jane about crazy fantasies involving her and entertainer Leo. Defense attorney Tina Garagos went over the text message between Jane and Diddy in early April of 2022 before allegedly meeting an entertainer called Leo. Combs texted James saying that he had been having crazy fantasies about her and Leo. But I want to make love to you. I haven't selfishly had you to myself for 5 months. I'm fine with the other stuff, but I just really need you right now, Jane responded. Okay, whatever you want, Combs responded. Then asked a few messages later if Leo would be free after we spend some one-on-one time. After the alleged meeting with Leo, Jane texted Combs saying she was still thinking about you, loving all over me. Mm-mm. Jury sees messages Combs and Jane sent to Paul in October of 2022. So the jury saw text messages. The jury saw messages Diddy and Jane sent to Paul in early 2022. Jane previously testified that Paul, uh, which is his first name, was one of the many men who frequently joined them for hotel nights. Jane, one of Combs' accusers, who testified under pseudonym, texted Paul asking if he was ready to make some fun or ready for some fun tonight. She then told him he should come after the butlers were finished helping. Uh, and he could wait in the lobby if he got there early. Why they got butlers in quotation marks? Anyway. Combs also texted Paul around that time saying, "Hold up, the staff is outside. They leave now, hang tight." Okay. Next update. Combs and James coordinated to keep staff from seeing entertainer during hotel night. Oh, this is interesting. So, defense attorney Tina Garagos reviewed records and text messages related to a hotel night in January 2023. When it Can I walk in on you and Paul? I would like that. She said yes and asked him what time she should tell the entertainer. Maybe 9:30 so he doesn't run into anyone. Jane texted Paul later, okay, let's make sure the coast is clear. Garagos reviewed Jane's messages, coordinating times with the entertainers before some of the alleged hotel nights listed in the summary charts. In one conversation from April of 2023, Jane told an entertainer to give it a beat for security and later said he's still making sure everyone's going outside. Okay, wow. Okay, so the next update, Combs told Jane to hide hotel night from ex chief of staff. Huh? Really? Because what we've read earlier, it seemed like Christina Corn was like in the know of all of this. And well, anyway, let's read. In another message thread, planning a hotel night later in April of 2023, Diddy asked Jane to find a location, telling her, "I can't have KK know, damn." KK is a nickname for Christina Quorum, Combs' former chief of staff. Jane arranged for an entertainer to meet them and said she had picked up new outfits. When Combs asked if she was in the mood, she replied yes. Combs later texted Jane, "Did you get Pill?" and "hit me when close is clear." Jane responded, "Joy is gone and an Italian is pulling up." The next day, Jane texted Combs an explicit message and told him, "I love you loving on me, and me you." Okay. In Italian, pull it up. Were we not just talking about Italians before I started recording?
Yes, we were. We won't say what we said.
But y'all can pick up what we putting down. Anyway, so next update. Jane arranged May 2023 hotel night with entertainer. So defense attorney Tenny Garagos reviewed some of Jane's messages before an alleged hotel night in May of 2023. Jane texted Diddy about an available entertainer and she was trying to arrange some things for a trip. He didn't respond to a few of her messages and she then said, "Baby, all is set." Jane also texted one of the entertainers asking when he would be able to fly to Miami. Days later, she texted the entertainer that she was setting up the hotel. Later that day, Jane told him, "Give me a sec," clearing out the assistant. They had to stop by to drop off stuff, and asked him to wait in the lobby. Hours later, she texted the entertainer to thank him for coming out and told him that she could send him payment through Zelle. Oh, I love Zelle. Straight to that checking account, honey. Okay, and let's see what's this. The prosecution has called 34 witnesses. Here's a list of who has all testified, and we could just kind of quickly go through this list here. We've talked about most of these people, so all of these names should be really familiar with everyone. Yep.
Some of these names, I maybe it's on days I missed or something, but some of these names I don't remember, like them specifically breaking down their testimony.
Really? Yep. Maybe.
Sheree Hayes, Melly. I don't remember that name.
Oh, you remember him, honey? That's the Punisher.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. That's just his real name, but we know him as the Punisher.
And this Frederick Zamora, you remember that person?
Let me see. Where was that? Frederick
Okay.
Zamora, manager.
So
Yep, I do.
you do? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I missed a couple of days, so maybe. Huh.
Yep.
Yeah, but the defense said they're not calling anyone. That's
They 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 did say because I feel that the defense believe that they have pretty much caused reasonable doubt. All they need is one juror. That's why the prosecution was working so hard to get rid of that black man. All they need is one juror to say, and baby, that whole case is done.
uh, that's the big risk, though, in my opinion. But what do I know?
And here we go. So next update, Cerciello is back on the stand and cross-examination is resuming. Um, Combs and Jane discussed NDA for new entertainer in August of 2023. In text messages from August of 2023, Jane and Diddy discussed having an entertainer sign a non-disclosure agreement. Combs asked Jane what she thought of the new guy. Jane replied, "He seems cool, babe. Hopefully he doesn't know anybody we know, LOL." She also said she would make sure the man signed the paperwork. Based on the messages reviewed in court by defense attorney Tina Garagos, it is unclear whether Jane followed through on the NDA or if they hired the entertainer for a hotel night. Let's see. Next update: Combs and James discuss flying in entertainer Sly. So, defense attorney Tina Garagos reviewed text messages between Jane and Diddy from late September of 2023. In the conversation, they discussed flight options for the entertainer Sly and exchanged explicit messages. I love being Kiki for you. I love driving you wild, Jane texted Combs. In later messages, Jane told Combs that she needed to get outfits from the freak store and that she was pale and hadn't had her nails done. I fucking love it, Combs responded. The next day, Jane texted Sly in part, tonight was amazing per usual. Oh, I know. Sly just felt like, oh, cheap slut, honey. Oh, I can't stand when somebody be texting me and stuff and say like that was good. Well, first of all, I know it was, so let's start there. But then he's like, anyway. Next update: jury saw text about Combs' Wild King night at Jane's home. So last week, the jury saw messages from February 19th of 2024 between Christina Coram, Diddy's former chief of staff, and assistant Brendan Paul. In the text, Coram asked if Combs was Wild King mode active or Gucci bag active, and Paul responded in between the two. Paul previously testified that the messages referred to a Wild King night at Jane's home and that he helped set up. Homeland Security Investigation Special Agent Joseph Cerciello confirmed that February 19th of 2024 was not listed as an event on the summary chart and that he did not review any messages between Combs, Jane, or a third party around that date. Defense attorney Tina Garagos reviewed additional messages between Coram and Paul from around that time discussing Combs. In the messages, Coram asked if they were just chilling at Jane's home, and Paul confirmed that they were. Okay, next update. Flight records show Jane flew to Miami before Combs' May 2024 apology video. So, flight records show Jane flew to Miami from Los Angeles in the days before Diddy posted his Instagram apology video in May of 2024, responding to the release of surveillance footage showing the intercontinental assault of Cassie Ventura. Defense attorney Tina Garagos confirmed with Homeland Security Investigation Special Agent Joseph Cerciello that the records listed in the summary chart do not indicate any evidence of a third party meeting with Combs and Jane during that time in Miami. Okay. And let me just refresh to see if there's any more updates. Okay, it looks like that was the latest update. And I'm sure the court is about to go to lunch soon if they haven't already. So yeah, that's that. So from what I'm seeing, it just looks like they're talking with this Homeland Security special agent about the summary that he put together, and then the summary didn't even really have like all the dates and stuff that the prosecutors alleged or whatever. But hey, so basically, what I think the defense is doing is just still trying to cause this reasonable doubt. Oh well, if y'all are saying that he is such a monster and stuff, well look, he's a, even though we all know power dynamics exist, but the law doesn't, unfortunately. So the jury has to go in there and say, oh well, she did say this in this text message, so it doesn't look like it was done against her will. And I hate that. I hate it. But we gonna see. But I definitely don't see, especially based off of what I just read. It looked like they still have a lot of stuff to go over. So I don't think prosecution will rest their case today. It'll be nice because I'm about done with this trial, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
But with all that we've been exposed to with this trial, it still doesn't feel completed. It still feels like we're at like the 20% completion mark. There there appears to be like so much more information that we or the jury needs to consider in order to make a judgment. Even though from like the court of public opinion, we have already made up our minds on what we believe should happen. But for those who are actually in that courtroom, I don't think they've been provided enough information. So, if I remember correctly, the trial was supposed to be what, 8 weeks, some shit like that. So
Yeah, I
this
remember hearing
this
6 to 8 weeks.
yeah, 6 to 8 weeks. So I'm not even sure we're even close to that at this point. So I mean, the defense. I have to give the defense credit as much as I don't want to. They are working hard for every single dollar that they're making because I'm pretty sure they're making millions upon millions for defending this monster. In during this case, at the same time, you can still tell that they're so operating out of desperation, hoping for any little thing to throw off the trial. So I have a strong feeling that they know it as well. They know that he is guilty of the crimes that he's been alleged of, but of course they cannot say that. So I can see why they're trying to rush it along so that there's still things left unattended so that they can get the judgment that they seek. And I guess there's a bonus attached to it. I can't confirm, but I would think there's a bonus involved to it if they were able to get him off. So
Hell yeah. That shit, they'll probably be able to retire early. That kind of a bonus. Well, I will certainly keep y'all updated on tomorrow's show. If they do wrap up or not, we will definitely know about it tomorrow. Well, speaking of Diddy's defense team, this actually goes into our next story by TMZ. One of his attorneys, Mark Agnifilo, and we've heard that name quite a few times when reading about this trial, but he was actually talking with Harvey Levin from TMZ, and he pretty much said there's more important things that we need to worry about right now. He said Iran is trying to blow us up. We got more important things to worry about. And see, did his defense. Hey, feds, Iran's the real threat. Stay out of his bedroom. Yes, he did say that. So Iran may be the key to Diddy's defense in his sex trafficking trial because we're told his defense may use the growing conflict in the Middle East as a way to take a shot at the federal case against him. Our sources tell us Diddy's defense may invoke the recent conflict with Iran later this week in their closing argument. And just like pretty much tying in what Will said, they're using throwing out any little thing to see what sticks, honey. And let's just watch a quick video with Mark Agnifilo talking to Harvey. As soon as this loads.
Let's switch our focus to the government. In my opinion, I'm just going to say it the way it is. No friend historically of the successful black man. Okay, none. And they start making this case, in my opinion, as a takedown of a successful black man. This is the government scrutinizing his businesses are fine. Scrutinizing the taxes, he pays his taxes. He does everything right. What's the last vestige? We're going to go into his bedroom. We're going to go into his bedroom because maybe we don't like the way he's having sex. Here's a man who has made some of the most important businesses owned by a black man. Run, owned, created, founded. The vision was that of a black man. What have we done? We have reduced him, not everyone, but a large amount of our society, to being a monster. That should make us shake in our boots.
girl, shut the fuck up, please. He's a successful black man. You don't give a fuck about no successful black man. Go to hell.
When I saw that video, y'all, I just kept shaking my head. Like he really tried it. He tried it, but he doing what he's being paid to do. So
And
hey.
doing a poor job, but doing a poor job as well. We're really going to omit the countless interviews that folks who have worked under his black-owned company about the treatment, about the lack of payment. People are broke. Rights were taken. He put himself as executive producer, didn't really do shit. Like we're really going to play the black card by someone who don't give a fuck about black people, allegedly. Really, girl, sit down. I'm over it.
Mm-hmm. Me too. I could I said wow. And the thing is, like, is I feel like they are going to try to use that in court. They're going to try to use that, but him being a black man, they're going to try. Oh well, look, we got a war going on, so maybe stay out of his bedroom. I'm like, wow. and just being reduced to just bedroom activity and not predatory behavior. You know what I'm like? It's just
So my question to that is, when has that ever stopped successful black men from getting unjustly accused of things, and it not, and they still go to jail for long periods of time? Like, please, like the justice system has never worked in our favor, even if you're a successful black man. So it's falling on deaf ears. I am so sorry. That was the wackest. He could have saved that. I
he
don't know
really
what
could.
drafts he posted in. He could have left them there because that was a mess.
I don't mean to laugh, but the fact that you are just offended and disgusted, because I totally get, because I was too, and I couldn't do anything but laugh. I'm like, wow, he really went there.
Circle back around. Girl, go shut up. Ew. Uh-uh. That really pissed me off. That ruined my morning. I need to go run or something because that just really made me mad. I can't take it.
Yeah. Well, does anybody want to add anything about him before we go to the next story? And it's funny that Will actually brought up like the multiple lawsuits and stuff by people who have worked under Diddy and his black-owned business and stuff like that. Because remember Sarah Stokes, she filed a lawsuit. Sarah Stokes, formerly of the band, she filed the lawsuit pretty much stating like unfair treatment and stuff like that. And she named a lot of people in the lawsuit. However, UMG, Universal Music Group, they have actually come back and say, "Oh, girl, they ain't got nothing to do with us, honey. Don't put us in that bullshit." So I have another TMZ article. Y'all see where it says Universal Music Group, we've got nothing to do with this Diddy lawsuit. So, Universal Music Group says they are catching legal strays when it comes to an explosive lawsuit against Diddy, and they want a judge to cut them some slack. Here's the deal. Former Making the Band singer Sarah Rivers, formerly Sarah Stokes, is suing Diddy for alleged hostile and inhumane treatment, and her lawsuit named UMG as one of several dozen defendants. The Music Corporation just filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuit against them, arguing they have no business being sued by Sarah. In new legal docs obtained by TMZ, UMG argues the case against them should be dismissed because it's time barred. UMG says the federal claims are preempted by New York state law and that it's an improper group pleading that fails to state a claim. UMG also says the parts of Sarah's lawsuit that involves them are irrelevant to her claims against Diddy. And they say that out of over 1,003 paragraphs in the original lawsuit, only 10 pertain to UMG. A judge has yet to rule. I mean, I guess UMG said, "Look, we got our own shit to worry about. We already being sued from here, there, and everywhere, honey. This right here don't got nothing to do with us." But we'll see. So, anybody want to add anything on that? Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
I can see why she added UMG to the lawsuit because Bad Boy signed a distribution deal with UMG back in 2003, and that was the same year that the band came out with Too Hot for TV.
Oh, there you go.
So even though Bad Boy is now, I believe they're owned by Epic Records, or they have a distribution. I don't know why I know this. They have a distribution deal with Epic Records, who is under Sony, not UMG. So I can kind of see why they said this has nothing to do with us. They may have to go back into the archives of when they made that deal back. Well, the deal is between 03 and 09. Why do I know this? So for that 6-year period, I'm not sure, since there was a sale, that it kind of omits them from any wrongdoing, but it makes sense as to why Sarah decided to name UMG in that lawsuit.
I know that's right. Get your money, girl. For real, for real. They did Sarah dirty, and the fact that like that when you even listen to the Too Hot for TV album, literally only like one song that, which I love, by the way. What was it called? So Sexy, that she had with Ness. That was like the only song that really featured her. Really.
Well, she had
But
ad libs on "Do You Know." Don't forget those
okay,
ad
yeah.
libs.
Don't get the ad lib.
But I think it goes beyond these lawsuits as well. I'm speaking about the folks who have spoken out publicly, I guess, because their NDAs have expired, or they didn't sign that that deal that came out that Diddy wanted to give them the remaining distribution money for whatever Bad Boy artists had made up until that point. And if you signed, it was essentially a hush agreement. If you didn't sign it, you can say whatever the fuck you wanted.
Mhm.
So like even so, I can tell the folks that didn't sign that agreement because they're now coming out and stating the treatment that they face, and they haven't necessarily filed a lawsuit. And so even though it's not a legal document, I still believe that there's validity to their story because naturally, duh, they lived it, and there's too many common occurrences between each other's stories, and I highly, highly, highly doubt they went on a Zoom call. Shout out to Zoom. A Zoom call to talk about, hey, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna say. It happened on this time. This time. I highly doubt that they did that. So time and time again, this person has proven to be not on the up and up and essentially a monster. There's still an underlying issue there. Like, yes, Tootsie Roll is the person that's spotlight. He's in the spotlight right now, but he got it from somewhere, from some person of high authority in the music industry, and that person is still under the radar and nobody's really talking about them. So I kind of see him as a scapegoat. That still doesn't negate everything that he's been accused of and what people have said about him. But however, not but, he got it from somewhere.
Yep. Agreed. Well, and thank you so much for that, cause woo child. And did anyone else want to add anything about this? Because we actually have a similar story about Rock Nation doing the same thing. All right, well, let's talk about Rock Nation. I'm about to share a hot new hip hop article. So just like UMG, Rock Nation demands out of nonsensical Fat Joe lawsuit. So remember we talked about that Fat Joe lawsuit about him being sued by his former hype man. So Rock Nation has filed a motion to dismiss Terrence Dixon's bombshell lawsuit against Fat Joe, in which the management company faces accusations of allegedly withholding wages. Its lawyer, Alex Spiro, says this is functionally impossible as the company only manages Joe's catalog, publishing rights, and intellectual property. Rock Nation has nothing to do with any of this. Nothing. And we expect the case to be dismissed, he said in a statement provided to Billboard. As for the motion, Spiro writes, Rock Nation's alleged role in this case, according to the plaintiff himself, is that because Mr. Carter Jenner's artist management company in 2017 and in that capacity earned a commission on revenue Mr. Carter Jenner generated. Yet, according to the plaintiff, the fact that Rock Nation had a business relationship with Mr. Carter Jenner somehow makes Rock Nation part of a RICO enterprise, a participant in sex trafficking, and an aider and abetter in Mr. Carter Jenner's alleged conduct. This is nonsensical. How Rock Nation supposedly knew of this deplorable alleged conduct is a mystery, Spiro continues. He does not assert how Rock Nation's management of Mr. Carter Jenner's music business gave it insight into how much plaintiff should have been paid, what he was paid, or any venture to deprive him of adequate compensation. Uh, Terrence Dixon's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, responded to the motion in a statement provided to Billboard. He confirmed that he will oppose the request. I am happy to see that Rock Nation was smart enough to distance itself from Fat Joe and his RICO enterprise, Blackburn said. The plaintiff has no personal animosity towards Rock Nation or its leadership. As for Fat Joe, Dixon accused him of a number of disturbing allegations in the lawsuit. The claim includes alleged coercive labor exploitation, financial fraud, sexual manipulation, violent intimidation, and psychological coercion. He even alleges that Joe had sexual relations with minors. Fat Joe's lawyer, Joe Tacopina, has already denied the allegations. He warned that law enforcement is aware of the extraordinary demand at the heart of the scheme. Mm-mm. So, well, that's that on that, child. I'm sorry. I'm one of the people ready to see Fat Joe's fat ass packed up and get his ass out of here. I am tired. I don't want to see no more of it. I'm not a fan. He can go. So that's that on that. Does anybody want to add anything? Go ahead, favorite tourist.
I agree, Auntie. I'm so sick of him and his knock knees. I don't know what to do.
I know what to do. Ignore his ass. Well, anyway. Ooh, speaking of ignoring people, honey, y'all see how Nas is pretty much ignoring all this Jim Jones discourse. And you want to know why he's ignoring it? Because some video footage has resurfaced from him talking about Jim Jones in 2005. So we're actually going to talk about that. Or we're actually going to watch that little clip. Give me 1 second. Let me get it. Somebody responded. I put it on the Twitter. I was like, ooh, well, there you have it. So let me get the link here and share my screen. In a minute now. Okay. Where is the volume? Here we go.
There's even one more MC, and I don't think no MCs will step to you after that anymore. Period.
But it got, honestly, I can't, like, if it was like Jim Jones, imagine putting a pen to paper to write about him. Even so nice about him. How did you do that? What's the first sentence? What the fuck do you write about him? I'm not anxious to hear the Jim Jones diss record. Like, I'm like, yo, the niggas that used to have a nigga a little nervous was like B.I.G., Pop,
right?
Even Cannabis, like Eminem. The niggas used to have you like, if we go at it, dog, we gotta go hard. You know what I'm saying? But these niggas like a Jim Jones, like I respect you getting your money. You're like, exactly, right?
So MC-wise, you not respecting his deserve the game right now.
I respect his hustle. Right. I respect his hustle. That's about it.
See, and you know what? I have said before, because they don't know how to do it properly. When straight men start reading people, that shit gets lethal. Because there's an art to it. But they just let the chopper sing, honey. He said, what would I even put about if I put pen to paper? What the fuck would I even say about some damn Jim Jones? Like, what would the first sentence be? Damn. That hurt my feelings, honey. He was like, I ain't even worried about it. He was like, I'm worried about people like Big, Pac, like Cannabis, Eminem. I ain't worried about no damn Jim Jones. Wow. Damn, Jim, that's fucked up. Go ahead, favorite Swarms.
Ironically enough, that is where my mind immediately went. No shade. I was like, what would Nas even talk about his run on Love and Hip Hop with the Christie storyline? Like, they are in two different weight classes. I'm like, Nas is undisputedly one of the greatest MCs to ever pick up a mic or write. Jim Jones has nice cornrows sometimes, but that's oh, okay. So yeah, I wish Jim Jones would have picked a fight with somebody like Soulja Boy or
Oh my God.
or Romeo. Somebody of his caliber in terms of talent and cultural impact. But Nas, like, ooh, yeah, Jim Jones should have stuck to the rivers and the lakes that he's used to, because that is not it.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think, because let me just be clear, I'm not gonna say I'm his biggest fan, but I don't hate Jim Jones's music. I've been in the clubs and stuff where his music have been playing, and I've twerked a little bit. The problem was when he started getting cocky. He was saying, "Oh, my son can't, his 20-something-year-old son can't even name a Nas song." Well, baby, that's your fault. You are in the hip hop space, and you're telling me that your son cannot name one of who people name one of the greatest MCs of all time, and you're telling me your son can't, like, it just didn't. And then when we went over the oh well, look at his Billboard interest and then look at mine, and he done just flat out embarrassed himself by saying that. But hey, I mean, if you can't, what's that saying? If you can't advocate and speak up for yourself, nobody else will. So I guess. Well,
But there was another infamous quote, I believe it's by the iconic Ashley, if I remember correctly. Shutting up is free.
Oh, yeah, touche. Moon, hey, birthday girl.
Happy birthday, Miranda.
Well, does anybody want to add anything about Nas or Jim Jones before we go to the next story? Okay, well, let's get into some white people business for a minute. Oh, and we're all familiar with we're all familiar with Dak Shepard, right? Kristen Bell's husband.
No.
Oh, well, Dak Shepard, he is Kristen Bell's husband, and he has a podcast. He actually talks about he was talking with Brad Pitt. Now, fuck Brad Pitt, but he was talking with Brad Pitt, and I guess they were talking about AA meetings. He said he almost had a fight with Eric Dane at an Alcohol Anonymous meeting, child. And let me share my screen here. We're going to look at an article from Entertainment Weekly. And y'all see where it says here, Dak Shepard says he almost came to blows with Eric Dane at an AA meeting. Let's go, motherfucker. When white people say that, honey, I just crack the hell up. Well, and this is Dak Shepard right here. And we all know this fine as Eric Dane, honey. Ain't but one.
He had the he was on the MTV show. Was it Punked?
Clear. Can you all see the jumbotron now? I see the comments say it was messing up.
No.
Can you all see it?
No, like everything you posted today, I'm only seeing those two people and then your intro. I'm not seeing anything else that was posted today. Anything else?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, let me make sure. You see Entertainment Weekly page. Okay. Emojis. Just for the I'm starting to do the show a new way now. I'm gonna post the links at the end instead of, because all that damn mouse clicking when you hear it on the recording kind of gets a little annoying. So, but actors Dak Shepard and Eric Dane are friends now, but it wasn't always this way. In fact, the two almost fought each other during an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. Shepard recalled to guest Brad Pitt on the latest episode of his Armchair Expert podcast. Eric Dane, who I now fucking love, I have such a sweetness for him, Shepard began. But when we first were around each other, it was not good. He threatened a dude in the meeting, and I said, "Let's go, motherfucker." He goes, "If you hit that timer again, I'm going to fucking throw you in that candle," the Parenthood actor continued, laughing at the memory. And I go, "That's it, motherfucker. Let's go. Stand up. Let's go outside." He stands up. We go outside, and I'm about to beat the fuck out of him at an AA meeting, and we're where we're coming from for healing and understanding. Ha! However, the story had a happy ending for both parties. But what's great is we're friends now, and we told that story on the podcast, and it's quite a hilarious beginning for us. And now I love him, he concluded. Shepard is referring to an Armchair Expert episode that aired last June, in which Dane told his side of the story. "I was not in the best space, let's just say that," the Euphoria star said. I may not have been sober at the time. So we're outside, and Dax is like, "What the fuck was that about, man?" And just as I'm about to open my mouth, our sponsor comes out and get in between the middle of us. Eventually, the interaction turned to Shepard's falling in love with Dane's personality and honesty, and he admitted that they were both grappling with the same bag of bullshit at the time. "You acknowledged something I said in your chair, and you actually said to the group, 'I hated you for so long, but I've come to really love you,'" Dane said to Shepard. "And I think I might have returned the favor in the middle of the room." So, and I guess I'm gonna go ahead and stop here because that's pretty much, it talks about like his Shepard's marriage with Kristen Bell and stuff like that. But yeah, that's something. About to throw hands at the Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, child. Look, that hard ER is killing me. Because you know that's how they said it, honey. You know they say motherfucker.
Motherfucker. Buddy. Fucker.
Uh, you know what I will say though? White people they ate with. You're skating on thin ice, buddy. Baby, they ate with that one. They ate that one. I love that one. And I cannot wait for the opportunity to tell somebody they're skating on thin ice, honey.
I think my favorite saying is, "That's really rich coming from you, buddy." That's my favorite. Yeah.
Okay. Well, does anybody want to add anything before we go to the next story? All right. Well, the next story, another white person. You remember I said 2025 is the year of divorce. And baby, they are proving me right. So Dermot Mulroney, and I know that name probably does not sound familiar, but once y'all see his face, y'all gonna be like, "Oh, him." He just filed for divorce from his wife at 15 years. So him right here. I know I remember him from my best friend's wedding. Do y'all remember him? Oh, no clue. Y'all are hilarious. Well, Dermot Mulroney is calling it quits on his 14-year marriage with Prima Apollinaire, and he's making a bold money move on the way out. According to divorce docs obtained by TMZ, the actor is asking for spousal support from Prima, but he's also asking the court to block her from getting any support from him. Yep, he wants to cash in, not chill out. Dermot filed for a standard dissolution of marriage, and with the pair sharing two minor kids, custody and child support talks are definitely on the horizon. Interestingly, both are still listed at the same Sherman Oaks address. Either they're cohabiting post-split, or it's just a shared mailing address for now. Stay tuned. This one could get interesting. And they actually did have an update. It says a source close to the couple tells TMZ neither side is asking for anything, and no one is denying anything. They are not arguing over the children nor money. We're told they use mediators, not lawyers, as they are friends, and this is amicable. And they were advised to file this way. I don't believe that shit. I don't believe that bit more than man in the moon, honey. I believe this is a messy ass divorce. I believe she probably got caught cheating, and he's hurt. Because initially he said he wants spouse support. He want to get some, but don't want to give out any. I think she got caught cheating, but I can't prove it. So that's that on that. Let's see. Means they don't want their story to be on court public records. Wake it up, Happy. Wake it up. Exactly.
That's really rich coming from Prima, I must say.
Dermot, you're skating on thin ice, buddy. Well, that's that on that. Does anybody want to add anything before we go to the next story? This will be the last white person story of the day, I promise.
Oh, thank God. Oh, no.
Well, our next white person story. Are y'all familiar with Anna Camp? You've probably seen her in movies like
Oh, shit.
Pitch True Blood. Well, anyway, honey, she is defending her 18-year age gap with her partner. And I'm going to share a BuzzFeed article. And you see how I said the brain isn't even fully developed until 25. People react to Anna Camp's nearly 20-year age gap with girlfriend Jade Whipsky. So this is Anna Camp right here. Celebrity age gap relationships have been the talk of the town recently, but Anna Camp isn't interested in hearing your negative opinions on hers. Last week, Anna celebrated the premiere of her latest film, Bride Hard, at the Directors Guild of America in Los Angeles, California, alongside her co-stars Rebel Wilson, Sherry Cola, Anna Klumsky, excuse me, I know that I just butchered that girl's last name, Justin Hartley, and Gigi Zumbato. The 42-year-old actor attended the event with her 24-year-old girlfriend, celebrity stylist and writer Jade Whipsky. This marked the couple's red carpet debut. And this is Jade right here. That's Anna. So the Pitch Perfect star confirmed her relationship with Jade back in March after posting a photo of them together on her Instagram story, dressed for the Renaissance Pleasure Fair. Yep, I remember that too. When the news of their red carpet, oh, let me find it. I just lost my. Oh, here we go. When the news of their red carpet moment began to hit news outlets, fans were not only surprised to find out Anna was dating a woman, but also that there was an 18-year age gap between them. So, Pink News, an outlet that prides itself on delivering LGBTQ plus news, features, and opinion pieces, shared an Instagram post highlighting Anna and Jade hitting the red carpet together for the first time. It included a video of them at the event with the headline and caption that listed their ages. And this is it right here. The comment section was filled with mixed opinions of those who disapprove of the age difference and those who supported it. And you see one here, just because they are gay doesn't excuse that weird ass age gap. Age gap in queer relationships are very common and don't often elicit the same power imbalances as hetero relationships, given we live in a patriarchal society that prioritizes men being in power and women being objectified. Healthy queer relationships don't prescribe to those heteronormative gender dynamics. Those two humans look so bloody happy, and I'm ecstatic that more and more women are discovering who they are and finding true happiness. Now, I definitely don't agree with this statement, but that's my own personal opinion. But anyway, next. That kind of age difference in any relationship makes me very uncomfortable. I would have loved to date a hot 42-year-old woman when I was 24. I don't know what's up with you guys. Regardless of celebrity or gender, if a 42-year-old is with a 24-year-old, it's about power or control, even on a subconscious level. I don't know these two, but I think too often we overlook age gaps in queer relationships. I even think 30 and 22 is a poor match. The brain is very, very different in your early 20s and late 20s. The brain isn't even developed fully until 25 or 26. Obviously, hope they are the exception. Many don't understand that being a controversially young girlfriend is the lesbian dream. Wow. I'm in my mid 30s and I can't imagine having the necessary common ground to start a relationship with a 20-year-old. What could they possibly have in common? Right. Now I agree with that one. 24 is adult age and they are grown adults. After noticing some of the backlash, Anna stepped into the comments to defend her relationship. Thought I'd jump in here since I follow Pink News, Anna wrote. And just say I've dated men exactly my age, and Jade is far more mature than any of them. We have more in common than anyone else I've ever dated, and I can literally talk about anything and everything. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, and I'm wishing everyone well, especially this Pride Month. You can read the full statement here, honey. Yeah, that's that on that. So, I'm gonna be, and y'all know I'm somebody who is notoriously into people older than I am, but I would be remiss if I didn't say there most certainly is a power dynamic, like even if it is a hetero or a queer relationship. But that's just my own. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Auntie. I with the first statement that you read, I have to strongly disagree with that. I also, it gets on my fucking nerves that everyone's a fucking therapist talk about brain development in the fucking comment section anyway. The thing is, and also that notion of like heteronormative, that's some bullshit as well. Because you also have to consider that people don't come into their fullness when they are queer until most times later in life, you know? So I can totally understand how this relationship could work because Anna is a bit older. And so naturally, in her coming into her fullness as a person who identifies as queer, it's much different than someone in their 20s. And we see that all the time, Auntie. I know from with you and I, we grew up in the early 2000s and the 90s. We had to combat so much cognitive dissonance and people not really accepting or approving or affirming, excuse me, how we show up in the world. And we had to work through that. Whereas with the help of like the internet and social media, what have you, people who are much younger than us, they have more of those spaces and the language to be visible and navigate the world. I wouldn't say easier, but with more I'll say awareness. That's not the word I want to use, but I'll use it for now. They have a lot more awareness and people are more familiar right now, even though they may have certain opinions about how they live their lives or how they want to show up in the world and how they want to bring people into their own lives, you know. So I definitely think there's a part missing there that wasn't spoken about outside of like the whole brains aren't developed thing, because people, someone who is a queer person can have a fully come to terms, not fully come to terms, but have more awareness of their lived experience, you know, than someone again our age. So like I don't necessarily agree with that, but however, I do believe there is some. Well, from my own life, I don't want to tell anybody's business because they're not here and y'all don't know them. But there have been instances where I've been in close proximity to folks who were in age gap relationships where there was indeed a power dynamic there, and one person was taking advantage of the other, that type of thing. Not disputing that at all. I just think that what I just pointed out was a very important aspect of it that was left out of the entire conversation. Not that it's anyone's business anyway, but it's my 3 cents.
Yeah. No, that was valuable 3 cents, honey. So, and then, I'm glad you said that because it just kind of opened my eyes a little bit. And I guess this is one of those cases where multiple things can be true at the same time. But so, congrats to Anna, even if she had to, find her full self in later in life. And yeah, you're absolutely right. These I know because I even said this on the show before. I think like the kids of today, they have more, and I'm like you. I don't want to use the word awareness. I guess more information that about things that, and it's easier to understand than what it was when we were growing up. So yeah, they probably did have to mature a little bit or be exposed to. Yeah, like multiple things can be true.
Yeah, and we paved the way. God damn it! Hello.
Damn right. Damn right. Where our last story of the day is about another queer couple who just got engaged. Y'all probably saw this news already. Let me share. It's going to be a Vibe link I'm sharing. And it says Justice Smollett announces engagement to boyfriend Jabari Reed. Oh, excuse me, Jabari Red. He said yes. So congrats to the baby. Black, honey. That's what I want to see. Anyway, Justice Smollett proposes to boyfriend Jabari Red this weekend, bringing the good news to his followers via social media. The Empire alum, who's 43, shared several images of himself down on one knee proposing to Red, who appeared to laugh and cover his face in shock. I'll be spending my birthday week. I'll be spending my birthday with my fiance. He said yes. Smollett captioned the carousel of Instagram photos. Congratulations came in from friends and family of the couple, including Justice's siblings. Sister and fellow actor Journey Smollett commented, screaming with tears of joy, "My whole heart loves both of you. Welcome to the family," Jabari read, followed by two heart emojis. Sister Jazz Smollett added, "Yes, welcome to the family, Jabari. Love y'all. So happy for you both." Other well wishers included Robert Glasper, Amber Riley, Duran Bernard, other on social media since 2022. The following year, they co-starred in The Last Holiday, co-starring Vivica A. Fox, and produced by Smollett, Tressa Ozra Smallwood, and Mona Scott Young. The engagement comes week after Smollett and the city of Chicago settled a $130,000 lawsuit tied to his infamous 2019 hate crime hoax, where the star was found guilty of filing a false police report involving two alleged MAGA supporting assailants. However, additional time is needed to finalize the documentation, according to NBC. They just keep trying to find a way to make Jesse responsible for this, and anyway. But yeah, congrats to him and his engagement. Yes, I'm just when I tell y'all, I'm so glad he has a black partner. I know people like joke about, but it's because usually there is a thing in entertainment spaces. Famous black gays tend to always date outside of their races. So, yeah. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
I might be in the minority, no pun intended, but this doesn't surprise me at all. because I'm
Oh.
no, I'm familiar with the Smollett family, like the whole acting family since they were. I remember watching the show when I was a child. And the through line of like every single one of them and their visibility in the entertainment space has been blackity black, black, black. Always. So the fact that he has a black partner has it's not surprising to me at all. It was a little heartwarming to see it. Well, it's always heartwarming, I guess, because again, lived experience. Seeing a black family embrace their queer family member and helping them celebrate love in this way, that they found someone that they want to dedicate hopefully an extreme amount of time to in their lives, like that is not still not common, unfortunately, in our community. So it was wonderful to see, but yeah, no, him having a black partner does not surprise me one bit.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little surprised. I got because I unlike you, I didn't really. The only thing I've seen them in is like the movies and stuff. I really didn't watch their show, or I really didn't know much about the family other than they were a family. So it's good to hear, and I'm glad because you know it's a lot of that going on. So I'm just glad he's not one of them.
Ooh, it might. Well, I don't want to go on a tangent because I can go there right now. I don't want to, but it's just certain demographics of non-black people I give the side eye to, and I will say that,
Hmm.
and I'll leave that alone.
Well, yes, indeed, honey. Well, that was all the tea that I had for us today. So before we head out and before I go watch my stories, do any of you have any tea that you want to share? Or any tea that I might have missed? Oh, go ahead, favorite tourist.
I have one. I this made my
Yay!
this made my little heart sing this when I woke up to some fabulous news. Um, the legendary Brandy and Monica are going on tour, and I'm so stoked about it. Of my excitement because I've been one of those people that have been waiting for this to happen. I was like again a child and I've been wanting them to go on tour for such a long time because they're two iconic singers, in the not even just the R&B space, but in some aspects like music in general, especially if we talk about the the a very important of the vocal Bible herself, Brandy, and
Yeah.
the legacy of Monica. It needs to be spoken about as well because she definitely has cemented herself, and she doesn't have as many musical daughters, but her influence is still visible and felt. And I'm also excited about seeing Kelly Rowland as well because I've been wanting to see her live as well. The whole wall, 1, 2, 3. So 60% of the lineup, I'm very happy to see, and I'll just say that.
I know that's right. Shout out to them girls. Like, look, I think most black gays who are of millennial age, I think we are extremely excited about this tour coming up, even though it's still not lost on me that this is a recession indicator. Because these girls do not want to tour together. They don't. Brandy and Monica, the last thing they want to do is tour together. But you know what they said? I'm sure the phone call, Brandy was like, Mo girl, I know you don't want to do this, but let's get this money. And Mo was like, you know what, bitch? You're right. Let's get this money. But
It's been almost 30 years since that song came out. Like, and they've done what, maybe one or two things since then.
mm-hmm.
And
And
it
we're
will
not gonna count It All Belongs to Me. We're just gonna act like that song don't even exist.
well three because I'm gonna count it. I actually like the song.
Oh my
Um,
god.
I did. But no, it's I'm yeah. They won't be coming to my area, so I may have to travel. But I will, God willing, be in attendance. I've been Brandy in particular. I'm very partial. I can't hide it. Like Brandy is one of my favorite singers of all time. Aphrodisiac is that album. I'm sorry, and also Full Moon, that album as well, and B7 as well. The whole discography, with the exception of Human, we won't go there.
Okay,
But
what we not gonna do?
huh? Huh? Huh?
You
Anyway,
ain't gonna come for Human like that. I'm tired of you coming for Human. That is Brandy's best album. You're not gonna keep coming for her.
no, it is terrible. And one day you will see the light. Auntie is an atrocious album, and I can understand how she hates it. Anyway, but no, just witnessing her artistry live in person, just how her mind works, is just amazing. So anyway, long tangent, but that's the story I wanted to share today. Just that exciting news that Brandy and Monica are going on tour.
Yay! So shout out to those girls. Again, even if it is a recession indicator, I am very excited about it. So, well, does anybody have any more tea they want to share? Okay, y'all. Well, it is always a pleasure. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to come and sip tea with me. We will be back tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time if you can make the live show. In the meantime, you all have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye, everyone.